The Catherine police went to this apartment complex in Northeast Portland around 2 this morning. Paramedics and officers had found 3 victims. 2 of them, sadly, have passed away. Tonight, we are still working to learn more about a suspect or suspects. This is what the crime scene at Northeast Sandy and Northeast 131st Place looked like this morning. Hours later, detectives were still on scene taking pictures of cars in the parking lot and laying out evidence markers across the crime scene. The deadly shooting is a tragic continuation of violence in Portland. Sergeant Kevin Allen with the Portland Police Bureau.
No one is more aware of how much pain and heartache and fear this gun violence is causing our community than the officers that are responding to these calls.
The 2 deaths follow a record-breaking 90 homicides in Portland in 2021. This neighborhood in Northeast Portland is no stranger to that violence. Police data shows at least 5 other shots fired incidents within a block of this apartment complex in just the last 2 years. I tried speaking with neighbors about the violence here, but none of them felt safe being on camera. Also last night, officers reported finding 90 shell casings at the intersection of Southeast 174th and Southeast Division. Somehow, there are no reported injuries. And this shocking video captured a shooting in the Park Rose neighborhood last week. The Ring doorbell video shows a group of people that fired around 100 shots.
The police perspective is that this is a shocking chain of events.
The person who lives in this home gave the video to investigators. Allen says it's important for neighbors to share evidence like this for police to do their part.
We need to continue to get that cooperation from the community so we can make a difference in this gun violence problem.
A problem that thousands of Portlanders hope finally gets a solution in 2022. There are some changes coming for police in the next week, actually. A new unit focused on gun violence will start training next week. Allen says they'll focus on areas impacted most by gun violence and focus on cases where retaliation is likely.
Yeah, so 1 person is dead following that shooting that happened at 2 p.m. this afternoon. I'm here on 187th Street in Gresham, and the shooting happened over there at the Patricia Ann apartment complex. There is still a heavy police presence here, and Gresham police actually just now sent out more information. They say when officers arrived, they located a person who died as a result of the shooting. Officers quickly secured the scene and called investigators. Police are currently interviewing neighbors and 911 callers to determine what led up to the shooting, and investigators are reviewing surveillance camera footage from area complexes. 187th Street was closed down until about 20 minutes ago. You can drive through the street now. I could see police markers in the parking lot where the bullets were, and police are still investigating. Now, I'm still working to find out more about the victim and the suspect, but an officer on scene did tell me he does not believe there's a threat to the public at this time. I also talked to a neighbor who lives around this area. He says it's scary this happened so close to his home, but I'll have more on all of this later on Katu News at 6.
Well, Catherine, today warming centers like the one here at the convention center shut down because of those rising temperatures this week. But firefighters tell me it is cold enough that people could still take dangerous steps in order to warm up. They're now trying to educate those living on the streets to prevent these kinds of incidents from happening in the months ahead.
Portland Fire responded to several burn injuries over the weekend. One man burnt his hands while using an accelerant. Another caught his sleeping bag on fire using a candle. Firefighters also shared this photo after a loose hose attached to a propane heater leaked inside a tent.
We had a propane tank catch on fire, then explode, and that had a couple of severe burns to the 2 folks that were in there. It was down by their feet, so their legs got severe burns.
Terry Foster says often these incidents cause more damage than just injuries.
A lot of them, their possessions are in those tents, so when this happens, it's a tragedy not only if they could get burned, but a lot of their possessions get burned up too, and we just want to prevent all of that.
This spike in injuries comes as Multnomah County shuts down emergency warming centers for the time being. They'll open back up in the event of temperatures below 26 degrees, at least an inch of snow, or severe wind chills.
It's concerning that we had a weather event like this early in the season, but I feel good about where we're at and the lessons we learned over the last week. And I think that we'll just be getting ready for the next one.
Portland Fire says over the last few months, their focus was education, sharing postcards and telling those living in tents how to safely stay warm. Foster tells us those efforts will continue into the winter.
People will still get cold, so So continue to stay vigilant, and if you need to warm up, don't do it unsafely. Make sure you have your fires contained and you're not near combustibles, and don't leave a candle or a fire unattended.
There are other shelters open throughout the winter, and the county will monitor conditions to determine when emergency spaces are needed again.
I also spoke with Portland Fire and the county about other steps they're taking to keep people safe this winter. We'll have more on the resources they're providing coming up tonight at 6.
Here's where we are with wind right now. Not blowing too hard. 32-mile-an-hour wind, steady wind in Astoria, 26 in Salem. This is going to move through the coast region, then into the valley as we go through the overnight hours. This is about 8, 9, 10 o'clock. You're going to get 75-mile-an-hour gusts on the coast, possibly. Heavy enough rain. You might have some minor flooding inland, and we're talking about 9 or 10 o'clock until about 2 or 3 in the morning. Gusts of 45 miles an hour possible. Heavy rain, so you are going to see some high water on the roads, maybe the creeks rising up to the brim. Columbia River Gorge, wind and rain for the west end. In the central part of the gorge, overnight, you will get several inches of snow. For the Cascades and the Hood River Valley, many more inches of snow overnight, and gusty wind in the mountains, so the mountain passes will be blowing. Visibility will not be good. Same story tomorrow for central and eastern Oregon. You get the snow moving in, and wind gusts in the first part of the day, 55 to 65 miles an hour. By late Monday, everything calms down. Wind will calm down, showers instead of heavy rain, but snow continues to fall in the Cascades. All this moisture is spinning in behind this front as this drops through. In the next several hours, that's when the wind really starts to kick up. Interesting thing with the temperatures as well. Look at this, sitting at 49 in Eugene, 51 in Salem right now, still 37 in Portland, 38 in Vancouver. So warmer air starting to work its way in. Our temperatures actually in the next 2 or 3 hours will go up 2 or 3 degrees. Before they cool off, as we hit the morning hours, you'll be around freezing, Estacada and Sandy, so foothills of the Cascades could get some more snow as well overnight into tomorrow. And we're already seeing that rain start to build up here along the coast. This is what's going to be moving through overnight tonight. A little too dark to see anything on the coast. 47 degrees there, 47 in Dayton as well. Colder out in the gorge, 23 overcast from our visithoodriver.com camera. You will get that snow overnight, seeing rain around Portland right now. 37 degrees, but we will warm up. So let's go through this hour by hour. 9 o'clock, wind on the central coast starts to pick up in the valley, blows through overnight tonight, right around midnight, and then still blowing pretty hard for the central and southern part of the valley early in the morning. Snow moves off to central and eastern Oregon as we go into Monday, but we turn to showery weather, potentially some thunderstorms, and that means those showers could be very, very heavy. So we go through tonight into Monday, 1 to 2 to 2.5 inches of rain west of the Cascades, a little bit of rain east of the Cascades, and in the mountains, look at this, tonight, half a foot, Monday, a foot, Monday night, another 3 inches, Tuesday, another half foot. Those are the minimums I think we're going to get with the snow level around 3,000 feet. This is your day tomorrow on the coast. Maybe a thunderstorm, some heavy showers, high temperatures in the low 40s. We'll be in the low 40s as well for the valley with rain in the morning. Up to the north, Clark County, North Clark County, Cowlitz County, you might see a snowflake in the morning. Snow in the central part of the gorge, the Cascades, rain and snow, decreasing winds, but you're warmer, central and eastern Oregon, probably above freezing. We have a snow level Monday night of 1,000 feet, not expecting a whole lot there, but rain just about every day through the coming 7-day forecast. Next weekend actually is looking a little bit better. Could see a little more sunshine and much less of a chance of rain.